This is just a quick thing, wondering what your thoughts are on the game's event. Personally, I feel like it's a big letdown on Roblox's behalf. I mean, what? 3 of these items are layered clothing, 3 out of 6? Like, really? Who actually cares about layered clothing? Look, on this avatar, they look alright as a combination, but on their own, they're pretty pants, if I'm going to be honest. No one's going to use them outside of this event. I mean, the headphones and the bandana plus sunglasses are pretty cool. Back accessory, which for some reason is under head accessory with the Maximus version. I don't know why that is, but it is. I feel like Roblox isn't... It's just not quite right. The items are far too easy to obtain. I got them on the first day. I mean, look, I've got all the items and I'll show you. I'm not even 50% of the way through the event. It's... With the hunt, there was actually an incentive to play all of the games. You needed 95 out of 100 of the games to actually get the top reward. With this one, you barely even need to play it, really. There's no incentive to play all of these games. There's no special reward. Roblox didn't really do that good of a job of hyping up the event, in my opinion. And yeah, it just feels like a big letdown. On the Discover page, there's nothing. No indication, nothing about the event. Like, look at this. You can see here, there's no special tab for it, no nothing. On the home page, you've got one line about it. That's it. You've got one of the slots which is filled up by the hub, and then the other 3 are games that are in the event. It feels like they're not helping out the developers anywhere near as much as they should. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Also, hold on. Whoops. Let me show you over here. The top points earned. Dress to Impress, it's just been blowing up lately. That's outside of it. A lot of these points that are being earned for the event are just from games that are being played anyways. Like, none of these are really getting more than they would usually. That's the thing. Also, Motor Rush is quite low there. But yeah, like, the thing is, it just doesn't feel right. For example, Bad Business has a lot of players, but the event's very annoying to do. Epic minigames, RNG based, and this... I mean, Driving Empire, they've improved from the classic event. It's a lot less grindy than it was before. Some of the quality of the games in this event, I must say, compared to the hunt, far, far better. Like, all the events so far that I have played, I've completed a lot of events. Apart from Motor Rush, which was a bit annoying to do, a lot of these have been actually decent. Like, I didn't expect Arm Wrestle Simulator to have a decent event, but it had its own world and everything. That was pretty cool. Obby on a Bike, that was a bit annoying to do. It was just quests within the game, but oh well. Blade Ball, they had a custom boss fight. It was very quick and a bit janky to do. Drive World, incredibly good, in my opinion. I mean, it was pretty much like the GTA parkour races for the Obby events, which was very nice in my opinion. Fishing Simulator was just a quest system, and you had to do one race, which was alright. You get an exclusive boat in game, so fair enough. Murders vs. Sheriff's Duels, there wasn't anything special with this one. It was just quests again, but it's not a bad game. I enjoyed it, but that's just because I'm decent at it, I would say. Driving Empire, cool, special race and everything for it, very nice. ROBUX, it was something. I'm not a fan of rhythm games, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Funky Friday, same again. Locked In, if you've never played rhythm games before, oh my god, that is a difficult one. That is difficult. It took me a couple of attempts, but as I said, I'm not a big fan of rhythm games. Launch into Space Simulator, it was just a simulator game. It didn't take too long though. Compared to the hunt, the hunt, most of the games took what, 30 minutes to an hour. These ones are only taking like what, 15-20 minutes for some of these. Motor Rush, it was janky. I mean, if you've played the game before, it's probably not too bad, but as a first timer, it's not the best. Dress to Impress, I mean, Dress to Impress has been decent in all the events they've been in. to be fair. It's not one I would personally go out of my way to play, but I don't mind playing it for the event. Arsenal, I mean, it's Arsenal. They've done incredibly for all of the events that they have played, or not played, been part of. So I'm a big fan of Arsenal, and I think they should be included in every Roblox event, personally, because they pull it out of the bag every single time. I'm always happy to play an Arsenal event. Race Clicker, they had an exclusive world. It was a bit dodgy having to collect the shines, because sometimes you'd be clicking and it wouldn't pick them up, but I don't know why that is. I think it's just a little bug. It doesn't really matter. Eat the World, they had an exclusive area for it, which was pretty cool to explore. The quests were a bit but finding the shines was quite cool in my opinion. Bee Swarm Simulator, bit janky, but the golf system was very cool in my opinion. Well, not very cool. It helps if you played the game before. Obviously, you don't need to have played it before. Pull a Sword, they actually, compared to the Hunt, it was better. In the Hunt, they had like a different... They just had a line of swords where you had to slowly make your way up, and that was it. But this time, they actually had an exclusive event world where you could explore around. I mean, getting the 5th shine, you did need to play the game for a bit, but if you'd completed all the quests, you'd get a 45 times multiplier sword, which is very helpful for just powering through the game. So it wasn't too bad. It didn't take too long for me, but that's because I've played the game also during the Hunt and beforehand. Pacer Test, I mean, it's fitting. There was a bug, I don't know if it's still in the game, where you could just claim the quest over and over and over, and then just repeatedly gain speed, and then rebirth, and then rinse and repeat. It wasn't too bad for me. I did it pretty quickly, but obviously if you're new to the game, it's a bit difficult. Michael Zombies, I mean, it's alongside Arsenal, it was one of the best in the games, in my opinion. I mean, a whole special world where you didn't actually have to fight the zombies, but there were challenging quests. Like, for example, with the baseball one, you didn't have to use the baseball bat. You could go with an easier tennis racket. I liked the option to have different difficulties within them, so if you could challenge some if you wanted to. Watermelon Go, it was... I mean, I'm going to quote Amura's words here. The system of collecting shines was very cute, of just having little shines just hidden away on different parts of the menu, and I think it's a really good system they had, because obviously they had the limitation of you're not actually in a physical world running around like this. You were actually just on the menus. It was very cool. The one downside was having to win the public duel match. A lot of people would just, if they were losing or they'd lost, they would just surrender, and it wouldn't count as a win, unfortunately. I know why they've done it, just so you can't just queue in with a friend, one of you surrender, boom, done. You've done the event. I mean, it wasn't too bad, though. The first 2 quests were quite cool. BNPC or Die, I mean, I kind of have a bias towards BNPC or Die. I'm a tester for the game. I mean, the shines, very cool. I like the randomness of them. I feel like a lot of the tutorial guides that I have seen, apart from mine, obviously, well, I made my tutorial guide with the help of the owner, so obviously mine's going to be the most precise with it. But I feel like a lot of the guides, they only show one location, and then people think, oh, it's broken. And so they kind of complain a bit of the game. It's not broken, it spawns in 2 different locations, only one person can pick it up to prevent hackers, you know? And then the actual race event, you do need to be a sheriff pretty much to win it, but it's very cool in my opinion. It's very simple to do, and it's one of the quicker ones in my opinion. So if you haven't done anything in the event so far, BNPC or Die, I would highly recommend playing, and it's just a fun game in general to play. And then finally, the ones I've done, Pet Catchers. The little mini games were very cool. I enjoyed the football one, or well, they say the soccer one. It's football, it's not soccer, but the football mini game, it was very cool. I mean, it was pretty much just aim labs with 6 different locations to click on to save the goal. It wasn't too difficult to do. Then there was the... Oh god, I gotta try and remember. I mean, there was the painter one. I remember, yeah. There's a painter one. That one was a bit annoying because I would just get random kids that would just hop into the thing, because it is a multiplayer one. A multiplayer event, you need to earn 3,000 points total. I'd just get kids following me around and just constantly going over my lines behind me, even though there was an entirely untouched side of the map. That was a bit annoying, but I mean, it makes it a competitive minigame. Very annoying though. And then there was the running race one, which was like Subway Surfers kind of, but with 4 lanes. You'd gain speed boost, you would lose speed if you hit a hurdle, or in the final hard mode, you would potentially lose speed with the water as well. So, I mean, that was alright, in my opinion. It was a special event and whatever. So definitely, compared to the hunt, you can see so much more effort has been put into it by the developers. Even with like the simulator games, I wouldn't personally enjoy that. There's more effort put into it. So that's a big props to the developers. I just feel like they've been let down a bit by Roblox. Like, realistically, who cares about these? Like, really? Who cares? It's a bit pathetic, in my opinion. I mean, the point system needs to be reworked. I mean, look, there's a 60 million point difference between Giant Feet, what? We've got a 22% catch-up bonus, because that's going to help us catch 30 million points to Pink Warriors, and then another 20 million to Angry Canary, and then another 10 million to Mighty Ninjas and Crimson Cats. No, that's not going to happen. There needs to be a giant overhaul to make it fair, because, I mean, realistically, Creekcraft and Lana on the exact same team, you're going to get a big amount of people wanting to be that. Obviously, you've got pretty much the entire, I think it's the Spanish community. Yeah, Angry Canary is a Brazilian community. Mighty Ninjas is Spanish. So you're going to have a big following for Mighty Ninjas as well. Whereas Giant Feet, I mean, I joined Giant Feet for the memes. Realistically, I mean, let's just have a look at the YouTubers in it. There's the Blocks Fruits YouTuber, Socks for 3, fair enough. And then Project Supreme. He's not even rocking anything related to his team anymore, is he? Well, that's cool, isn't it? I mean, if there was any downside to Giant Feet of why I wouldn't have picked it, I was leading towards a different team just because of Project Supreme. I'm not a big fan, unfortunately. He's just not my type of content. I mean, Pink, you've got one of the YouTubers selected for Pink was Pinkleaf. I mean, fair enough, it's in his name. He's not uploaded in ages. Like, why? There are so many other YouTubers that could have been selected for this event that would have helped boost it even more than some of the YouTubers that was picked. And I just feel like, yeah, Roblox, it could have had a better selection, in my opinion. But I mean, I do like the fact that there's a community being part of this, like fighting against others and whatever. That's cool. Overall, though, I do enjoy the event. I might 100% it. I don't know. There are a couple of annoying games to complete, although I have tried to get rid of most of the annoying ones out of the way so far already. But yeah, what are your opinions on the events? And if you agree, please do like and subscribe. You know, it does help out a lot. And I'll hope to see you on one of my streams in the future. So yeah, goodbye.